champion select. So Beach King Gaming on blue side and the Rogue Bunnies on purple. Hopefully everybody is connected just fine. And we'll just get started here.
Alright, so looks like we're getting started. Hopefully they can get in here to get their bans. Looks like some delay going on. Okay, they do get their ban in. So Vayne and Nami coming in really quick there for the bans. Jace ban coming in quick. So they seem very really sure about what they want to ban now.
These seem like pretty typical bans coming out from Beach King Gaming, but definitely targeted bans coming out from Rogue Bunnies. If anybody's watched the tournament last week, we definitely saw a very strong Nami play coming out of Beach King. And some pretty strong Twisted Fate as well as Caitlyn. All of these champions did really well last week. And we see Aurelia being hovered over. Actually, no, being switched over to Zillion. I think Matt Singh's just trying to have a little bit of fun over Beach King Gaming. But definitely more typical bans coming out from Beach King. Vayne getting increasingly popular. Jace also getting increasingly popular. And Shen has always just been an all-around strong pick.
Yeah, it's still from. Well, I have some delay in my audio now because I'm actually having to watch the picks from the live stream. Looks like he's still hovering that Zillion. Doubt we'll see a Zillion play, but anything's possible.
And there we go. He switches over to Sona, so that's probably going to be the more likely option. Actually, no, locks in Janna. They're going to be switching over to Rogue Bunnies now. We see Cho'Gath and Leona being hovered over. It looks like they might know what they're going to be going for here.
Yeah, I agree. This Cho'Gath Leona pick, actually hovering over Teemo a little bit, so a little more trolling going on here. Yeah, we'll just have to see what they have to go with here.
I'm a little bit interested. Leona into Janna pick can be pretty interesting. It's a little bit based on who can play the support lane a little bit better. Definitely if Janna is really spot on with those tornadoes, Zenith Blade can actually be cancelled mid-flight. Sunlight proc still affects it. They are still momentarily stunned in place, but Leona doesn't get to do the dash in, hold on to that target, use her Q, use her W, and combo up all of her base skills with that. So we'll see how this support lane plays out, and we see Zac being locked in for Rogue Bunnies as well as Leona.
Okay, it looks like it is going to be Leona. So we're going to see what the other side's going to be picking here. Sorry, the bottom is shifting me by the game name, so I'm relatively new, so still getting used to the team names.
Alright, so we see Tristana being hovered over and Jarvan being hovered over. We saw Lollicos play Tristana last weekend, actually going legendary in a game. Somewhere close to 12-0, I believe. So it was a very strong pick. Kiwi Jones actually locking in Jarvan. We could be seeing a top Jarvan. I feel it might be jungle though, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Tristana's still being hovered over. Definitely one of Lollicos' stronger champions as we've seen in the past. You know, he seems to know his champion very, very well, and we'll see what he decides to do.
Yeah, I mean, if they go for this Tristana, they're going to more than likely try to draw this game out. Get Tristana at least get to late game, because as late game goes on, for those of y'all who don't know, Tristana's passive makes it where she gets increased range. Oh, but I actually see the swap now going to some possible ADCs. That's Sivir. Yeah, okay, going to be going for that Tristana there.
Let's lock into Tristana here, and we see Darkfar hovering over Karma. Now, I wouldn't take it over these guys. I know a couple of these guys, and they were talking to me about really wanting to play Karma, and I said, go for it. Anything goes, man. So we'll see what they decide to do. I got a feeling that they're just doing this to troll me personally, but we'll see what they decide. Cam's still not quite sure what he's going to be doing. Looks like Corki is going to be hovered over here. So definitely not the most popular AD carry right now. Actually switching over to Cho'Gath. And back to Corki. I think these guys know what I'm trying to do. They're just messing with me. Cho'Gath and Corki being stayed over now. Looks like those will be locked in. Corki definitely not the most popular AD carry around right now. Does work very well with Leona, but the mana costs have been extremely huge on him.
Yeah, but there has been that slight change now, reducing it just slightly, so that should help out a little bit with the latest patch.
Absolutely. Sorry, I keep getting this active game not found thing. Alright, so last two picks coming out from Beachkin Gaming here, Maneki and Muraloni. So I want to talk a little bit about what we see from the Rogue Bunnies coming out here now. We have a really, really strong front line. We still don't have, we're not sure what their AP mid is. It could be an AP mid Cho, could be an AP mid Zac, could be a top Zac, could be a top Cho, could be a jungle Cho, could be a jungle Zac. We're not sure what they're pulling out yet, but they're definitely very, very tanky and have a very good front line for wherever they choose their AD carries to be. Or not AD carries, they're just general carries to be. We see Malphite and Fizz being hovered over. Fizz was played yesterday against the Rogue Bunnies as well. It looks like they're going to change that over to Orianna and keep it there. Alright, so now we have the complete lineup coming out from Beach King Gaming. So we see Janna, Jarvan, Tristana, Malphite, and Orianna. I want to point out something about their composition, though, is that they can all combo a lot of ultimates really well. Malphite's Unstoppable Force, Jarvan with his EQ combo into Cataclysm, locking people in, and then Orianna Shockwave. They can hold people in for a super long time. And it can really hold down a team for a long time. Plus, with Tristana's late game, she can absolutely shred anybody she chooses to and anybody who tries to get near her.
Yeah, they got great initiation, pretty tanky. They have a slight peel now with Janna and Orianna going to be able to protect Tristana definitely when it gets to the late game. Right now, it looks like by who's purple side again? What's their team name?
The Rogue Bunnies.
The Rogue Bunnies. All right. The Rogue Bunnies. Now they got a really strong mid game though. Zac, he does really well. Definitely once he hits 9, assuming that he's the jungle. Once he hits 9, he's gonna be able to do a lot of damage when he jumps in now. So they might try to end this sometime within anywhere between the 13 to 25 minute mark before it gets too late in the game. But we'll see.
We'll definitely see. 1 second, just getting lots of messages going on here. So, we do see the completed roster now for the Rogue Bunnies. Diana, Cho'Gath, Zac, Leona, and Corki. So we have one of the stronger assassins of the game. Just kind of gets innately tanky with Diana there. But we still have a very strong front line. We are seeing a top lane Cho'Gath. Could be a swap between Diana and Cho'Gath. We never know how that's going to go. Zac in the jungle and Leona Corki bot lane. Notoriously high burst that can come out from that lane with Phosphorus Bomb plus Leona's combo. Especially in the early game. It does take quite a fair bit of mana, but it can definitely devastate somebody's health bar very quickly. Alright, just going to be getting set up with the delay here. Going to be heading in as soon as we can. So, guys, remember you can vote on the launch page which team you want to see win. We'll pull out the poll somewhere inside the game. We'll get the link out into chat as soon as we can. And we'll get started into this game as soon as we can. So let's take a look at some of the Summer Spells team compositions, what's going on here. So, we do see a top lane Malphite coming out with the teleport. Going to be trying to apply a lot of pressure here. Those teleport ganks from Malphite can be pretty devastating once he has Unstoppable Force unlocked. Able to just surprise people completely off guard, Unstoppable Force out of a bush, completely catch people off guard, and can really screw up a team's gank. On the same side, we do have Cho'Gath taking teleport. I think this is mostly going to be for more split pushing opportunity. Cho'Gath can push lanes pretty quickly with his QW and E, and just be able to push out lanes and then get back into team fights as soon as he can. He's known to be a pretty disruptive tank with a pretty decently long silence and a knock-up comboed with a slow, plus a pretty high damage, true damage nuke that could come out from his feast. That also makes him tankier. So we'll be seeing how these players decide to use their feast, or sorry, their teleports.
Yeah, sorry about that. Thought I was not going to be able to spectate this here, but I was wrong. So I was seeing if maybe we need to swap a caster out, but looks like we're good. Yeah, as you were saying, now we have 2 teleports in, so we're going to be able to see them not really get an advantage. Like yesterday, there was a game where one top had a teleport, and they were able to get down there and put a lot of pressure on the dragon once they felt like they could do that. So going to be able to see a lot of ganks here. Malphite obviously having the hard initiation, like you were saying, but with Cho'Gath with his Rupture and his Psychic Stream, he's going to be able to do a lot of disruption in case he gets into lane and be able to surprise someone if he teleports in without them being aware.
Absolutely, and it can be a really really scary ganking opportunity that comes out from Jones. And I'm actually a little bit surprised. I thought Jones was their typical jungler. I'm not completely sure about their full lineup, but I'm sure Jones was their usual jungler and Merlot was their top. Looks like they might be switching things up. Maybe I'm just dumb and mixing up their roles. But we will be seeing a top lane Malphite. It's actually been a very popular pick this tournament. Been picked a majority of the games, and he's been doing really well. I'm pretty sure he has a 100%. No, he doesn't have a 100% win rate. Rogue Bunnies used him once and lost that game. But he does have a very high win and pick rate in this tournament so far. So we'll see how this plays out. What do you think about Rogue Bunny's composition, though?
Uh, they have a lot of disruption. They have Cho'Gath, they have Zek, and they have Leona. So that's a lot of disruption. So if they can get a hard engage onto Tristana, they can definitely win this game pretty easily. But they don't have a lot of carry though. Like Corki's a strong ADC, but I don't feel he's as strong as
Tristana?
now Tristana. There we go. Definitely not as strong as late game as Tristana. Tristana probably I would say is probably the best ADC once it gets to late game. If she can not as long as the other ADC doesn't get fed. So I don't know. Just all depends if they can get onto this Tristana, and able to shut the game off before it gets too far into the late game. I feel like.
Absolutely. And something I do want to point out, though, is that Tristana is pretty notorious for a really weak mid game. She falls off because all of her abilities scale off for magic damage, and she has the one steroid that usually you don't level up till later into the game. So she's pretty notorious for having a pretty weak mid game. The rest of her team kind of compensates for that. Malphite is a pretty strong late game. Orianna is pretty strong mid and late. Same with Jarvan. But Rogue Bunnies definitely has a very strong mid game. Zac has really strong mid game ganking potential. Cho'Gath just keeps getting beefier as the game goes on. Diana is a very, very strong mid game. As soon as she hits 6, she can start roaming. Does a lot of damage. And same with Corki. Corki has a very strong early to mid game, especially with that Phosphorus Bomb proc. And then later into the game, if he can actually get his E off, I can't quite remember the name of it, but it does an AoE armor shred. It can actually devastate a team quite a bit. Plus, if he's also going to be going for the Triforce build with the Armor Shred, comboed in with the Missile Barrage spamming with Sheen procs, it'll definitely rip apart anybody in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. But let's look at the skin war we have going on here. We have 3 skins at top. We got Victorious Janna, Rocket Girl Tristana, which is actually my favorite for her. Stone Chaos Orianna. In bot lane, we have Dark Valkyrie, Gentleman Cho'Gath, and that's it. So Beach King's winning that, so at least they have one up. Even though Gentleman Cho'Gath is a pretty sweet skin, I would say.
I'd say let's count Gentleman Cho'Gath as 2, but Rocky Girl Tristana I believe also counts as 2. So still maybe in favor of Beach King, but definitely really nice skins coming out. I've always been a fan of Gentleman Cho'Gath. Would you like some cheese with your wine?
Let's see now. Just looking at the comps here, seeing if there's something unique here.
I do see Tristana running Cleanse. A little bit different than what most AD carries choose to run. Trying to be a little bit more on the safer side. Barrier has been extremely good lately. Very, very popular, but we're going to be... They definitely want to be trying to keep that Tristana safe from any of the CC, especially in the bottom lane. Leona's really good at locking down a single target for an extremely long period of time, so the Cleanse might be beneficial. We do notice that Rogue Bunnies has a lot of AP damage. Corki's, most of his early game comes from his Phosphorus Bomb, and that is primarily magic damage. Plus his auto attacks do a little bit of true damage. Zac is all magic damage. Cho'Gath all magic damage. Diana all magic damage, and Leona doing all magic damage. A Runic Bulwark might be a very strong choice here for Beach King Gaming.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways, game is underway now. We have everyone going to the lanes, doing some basic item chops here. I'm going to set up things on my end real quick, make sure that I can
no worries,
see
buddy.
everything I need to.
I just see some pretty typical starts coming out. Everybody's still, a couple guys just sitting at base still purchasing their items, figuring out what exactly they want to buy. Looks like we might be seeing just a little bit of protection around Beach King Gaming's blue buff here. Coming hanging around here, making sure that nothing goes on. Rogue Bunnies does have a fairly strong late game, fair amount of CC that can come out of them at level 1, plus a pretty decent amount of damage. So we'll see. We see some pings going down onto the red side of the jungle. Already a ward down from Beach King Gaming onto their red, and we can see them being really aggressive, actually heading up to the top tri-brush. Cho'Gath is actually heading near that way, sitting in his red bush. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully he doesn't get too caught out.
Yeah, but look at the different item builds here. 3 members of Beach Kings here have wards. Meanwhile, on Rogue Bunny side, the only person who has a ward is Leona, the support. So they have a lot more protection. So hopefully this Jarvan is going to be able to expose that and really get some hard ganks in without them at least being able to react in time.
We see Madman actually in a little bit of a tricky position. He does want to go top lane, but if he actually runs up towards the tri-brush, Beach King Gaming will spot him and try to cut him off. So I'm pretty sure he's not aware that the team is there, and he does have to be a little bit careful. There is only 4 members of Beach King Gaming left in that bush. Still not something a Cho'Gath at level 1 can handle, though. He's going to be walking by them. He's actually looking like he's going to be walking that bush. Actually gets a little bit lucky and decides to walk over to the top lane. Looks like he will be safe. But it does look like we're having a lane swap coming out from Beach King Gaming. Malphite is actually heading down to the bottom lane. Tristana and Janna are still near top and heading over to that lane. And we're going to see a red steal coming out from Beach King Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they have no clue that's happened either. They have no, they have that one word realizing he's not starting blue, but they won't know for sure that's at least on the, for all they know, he could have, they could have went.
I see a lot of aggression going on to top here. Maroni going in hard onto Madman here, trying to get an EQ knockout. Madman actually forced the flash already. Being very careful. One doesn't want to give up that first blood just yet. So it looks like everybody's going to walk away, though. That is a flash down on Madman.
Yeah, great job by there on Jarvan. Really got behind Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath obviously had no clue that they were there. Didn't really know that they've been right there that entire time, pretty much since the start of this game. Looks like Diana doing a good job middle now, forcing already the minions to the tower. So knowing that where Jarvan was at, decides to push out a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of aggression. You're trying to push out. Orianna is definitely one of those annoying lanes that can come out from for a Diana, as opposed to, because she is a melee champion. Actually sees Darkfar getting caught out in the jungle. He's trying to steal the red buff back, trying to hold one for his own. Spire coming in here to try and save him. Maniki trying to keep him away. Darkfar actually forced to flash over. He still does have his passive. Doesn't want to risk losing that though. Derpy Luna getting a little bit caught out here. Red buff ticking away on him. They're trying to force them out of their own jungle. Looks like everybody's going to back away from this just fine though.
Yeah, very close call there. Zach, even though he did have his passive, didn't want to risk of getting burnt out after that. Decided to flash over the wall there at Dragon.
Maloney's still hovering around his red buff. Cam actually trying to get a little bit of aggression on, trying to keep them away. Purple team definitely wants to try and pick up this this red buff for themselves, deny it from Beach Game as long as they can. Actually see a teleport coming down from Jones. First blood going down onto Diana. Definitely did not see the teleport coming down from Jones into that bush. I'm pretty sure they weren't sure it was warded. They're actually heading down. Jarvan flashing in. Cam and Supplier have to flash away to avoid getting knocked up by Merloni. That's a lot of flashes now burnt onto the Rogue Bunnies.
Yeah, and if you notice that teleport there, it wasn't onto a ward. They actually teleported onto the standard of Jarvan. I didn't even know that was possible, but obviously they proved me wrong because there's nothing else to teleport onto. So pretty interesting there.
Yeah, you can teleport to any friendly unit technically. So yeah, Jarvan's flag does count as a friendly unit. So we do see now Maniki pushing back the lane, trying to get as much of an advantage in the lane now that Diana has to take her time getting back. She did get the first blood onto Diana, so this is actually going to be a little bit even tougher lane for them. Meanwhile, still do see the lane swaps going down. Lots of aggression being put down into the towers. Top tower pretty much at half health now, while bottom Beach King tower is still full health. So definitely going in favor for Beach King in the top lane. Both solo laners on either team trying their best not to lose their tower as soon as they can. Both of the dual lanes trying to take down the towers as fast as they can though.
I really feel this gives Tristana that kind of cushion she needs. Because since it's a 2v1 lane, even if it turns into a gank up top, they're going to be able to at least make it a 2v2. So it's a really safe start for them.
Just see Zach covering around the mid lane here. It is not warded by Maniki here. He's charging up his elastic slingshot, going in a little bit hard, just barely misses elastic slingshot. Takes a little bit of damage, but he will just command shield and walk away from that.
Yeah,
And we'll
both
actually
junglers
see.
here doing a good job with trying to apply some pressure onto the map now. Uh, just clearing out now.
Oni
Things
actually
slowing off a
heading
little bit.
into Darkfar's jungle here, trying to see what he can steal away. Does catch Darkfar a little bit low on health, gonna try and take him down as low as possible. Darkfar chopping extremely low, getting pretty low on health there, just barely lives, but 150 health on his health bar. Still has Cell Division up though.
Yeah, so Ping's going down the middle map here. The middle map there. Probably just telling Diana to be careful now, because they knew that J4 was close, so just playing precautionary.
Yeah, just trying to be a little bit safe. Nobody wants to give up as more kills than necessary, absolutely. So we do still see a lot of pressure going on to the towers. Not too much damage still been done to the top tower. Cho'Gath pretty good at keeping those waves as far away from his tower as he can. Corki and Leona doing a pretty good job on his tower, now just hitting down to about the 45% health mark. Madman taking a little bit of damage here from Tristana. He's just a little healed back up from his passive. Still taken pretty low though. Tower is at half health for them as well. It's just looking like a race to see who can get that tower first.
So what do you think would be a better trade here? Do you think getting the top tower here on purple side is more valuable, or do you feel like the bottom tower here on blue side is more valuable?
I think getting the top lane might be a little bit better for Beach King here. Definitely, they want to try and finish this lane off as fast as they can. It might be a little bit detrimental, because if Matman is allowed to free farm for a while, it could hurt them a little bit. But I do think they want to get back to their respective lanes as soon as they can. I think Cam and Supplier want to get up to top lane, help their Cho'Gath get beefy again. So they're going to be trying to take this tower as soon as they can. We actually see Merloni heading down to the bot lane. That is warded. You do see the reaction coming out from Rogue Bunnies. They will back away from that though. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Batman actually getting dropped extremely low, pretty much 25% health, is sitting at a very low tower. Is that a lot of risk here? Probably really wanting a little bit of jungler help here. Meanwhile, we see a lot of aggression going down onto Jones, dropped very low from a combo from Cam and Supplier. Taken also down to about 25% health, about 250 health. Both teams just desperately trying to push out these lanes and get those towers as soon as they can.
Yeah, I feel like both Malphite and Cho'Gath now are doing a really good job though, because typically now, definitely if it was a inexperienced group. Oh, actually,
before it's going down on bot lane, can actually take a lot of tower aggro. He will fall to Kiwi Jones. I'm sure he wasn't trying to actually take that tower aggro. Accidentally ended up pulling it, and Jones just took advantage of the small little mistake that he made.
Meanwhile, jungle here, we have G4 chasing Malphite. Actually gets that steal off the red buff now, so now Darkfall trying to run away, gets a flash over the Baron Pit. Gonna jump out.
He's gonna last the quick shot back in, just barely misses Merloni. Trying to do his best damage onto him. Actually, Cell Division will pop. Merloni looks like he's more than happy to try and get away with that. Derpy trying to do as much damage as he can onto him. Ignite goes down, just barely ticking away. Has a little bit of health. The Command Protect will save him though. Flash going down, actually flashing over to Command Shockwave, picking up the kill. Matsing is here now to try and stop Derpy from running away. Exhaust goes down, Ignite drops onto him. He will get knocked up by the tornado. Huge damage coming down onto him. He's getting dropped very slowly, just misses his Q, tries to ult away. Will miss out though, and will drop to Maniki. And that's the first tower of the game for Beach King Gaming as well.
Yeah, Darkfall there.
Darkfall actually getting chased down right now. Huge damage. Maniki will pick up another kill onto the low health Zac.
Yeah, very good job there from Beach Kings there. Did a really nice job. Cleaned things up there nicely. Obviously, had some nice coordination there. Oriana there did her best. Kind of disappointed she missed her ult, but I don't think. I mean, I wasn't expecting that flash, so I'm sure she wasn't. So, very nice job.
Definitely a very good flash we got from the Diana there, anticipating that she would be locked up from that. Also, just desperately trying to pick up that kill on the Jarvan. Does manage to pick it up, but it did end up costing her team 2 kills and a red buff trade back over to Peach King Gaming. So not quite worth it. Looks like Supplier's going to be trying his best to take down this tower. Looks like lanes have gone back to normal, but the tower is very low and it will drop. That's the first turn of the game for Rogue Bunnies.
Yeah, so here we are coming to 10-minute mark now. It's about a 2.5k goldie now for Beach King, so definitely have the advantage right now. And if they can keep this up, they'll definitely have the advantage. Because if they can get past this mid game, so if they can survive here for the next 15 minutes, and they don't even have to win, they just have to stall out enough and not give them opportunities to get kills, that's going to be a great advantage for them.
Absolutely. So we see the top laners have kind of gone back to what they're doing. Jones and Batman trading a little bit of blows. They don't really seem to mind hurting each other a little bit. They both know they're very tanky. Very sustain heavy. Mammoth taking quite a little bit of damage here. He doesn't have a tower to retreat to, but more than happy to just go back to his creeps and kind of farm up. We do see a lot of aggression go down to Lollicos. Solar Filler just barely missing Lollicos. Supplier doing his best to poke him down from as far as he can. Matsing is dropping down very low. Looks like they're going to try to choose to just engage this though.
Yeah, the Tristana guy, a little caught out position there. Lucky that shield from Neona that Eye of the Storm really helped out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Kept her alive doing a lot of that burst damage. You still see a lot of aggression going on in the top lane. Not a whole lot of damage. We actually missed out on a kill here. Sorry about that, guys. Looks like a gank came down from Jarvan. Cataclysm was not used. Command Shockwave was used, though. So that is a kill down for... Another kill down for Manhiki.
And meanwhile, bot lane, Tristana brought down really low. Dodged a couple of the rocket barrages there from Corki there. Did a very nice job. Corki was trying to predict where she was going, but right when he was cast, Tristana just juked a little bit to the side and barely got out of there. Like, meanwhile, we got J4 coming down here at bot lane.
Merloni trying to catch up, just barely misses the knockup onto Cam. Cam trying to keep him locked down as long as he can. Lots of damage coming out into him. Cam gets slowed. Cataclysm being dropped down onto Cam. Supplier will Valkyrie away. Cam has nowhere to run, and he will drop to Merloni.
Alright, just getting some downtime here. Both teams kind of retreating now. Have some gold to spin. Let's look at the item builds here if we shall. We got Corki rushing that Phage actually, so I'm assuming going for a Trinity Force here. How do you feel about that?
Pretty typical build for both of them. Pretty typical build for him. Very popular back in Season 2 was the Trinity Force rush. Actually, more or less these days we see the old Trinity Force guys rushing a Bloodthirster. If the Ezreals aren't rushing their blue build, they will tend to build Bloodthirster first. So, a little bit different, especially after Trinity Force got hit a little bit hard at the beginning of Season 3, but definitely not the worst option. Not the greatest thing you can do if you're not necessarily ahead in your lane, but not the worst thing you can do anyway. So, we'll see how that plays out for him.
Yeah, I'm just surprised not to, like, if he's going to go for Trinity Force, I'm surprised not seeing a Sheen first is all, because isn't that more of the standard first item you get?
No, typically you used to get the Phage first to get that slow. The slow was actually had a really good snowball effect, because if you were stronger than the enemy and you managed to get a Phage proc onto them, they had nowhere to go. So it would really detriment any escape plans they had, and you would be able to catch up to them and to just get another easy kill. So the Phage proc was pretty typical of a first pickup.
Alright, some more just face pound going on top lane now. They're just trading blows with each other. Neither of them, one of their HP is going down a whole bunch. He's got way too much health there to really care. Meanwhile, though, we do have J4 and Zach coming up here. A possible fight.
Looks like a little bit of a 2v2 in the jungle here. Darkfire actually landing a last affliction on the Canway. Huge knockup, double knockup coming down from Beach King though. Darkfire has dropped very low. Dubrilina is here to try and clean up as much as he can. Jumps onto Merloni. Merloni dropping very low. He's really trying to flash away from him over the wall. Doesn't quite get it. Darkfire has to flash over the wall. Kimmy Jones flashes over the wall trying to pick over him. Darkfire uses Elastic Slingshot to run away. The Q won't drop Cell Division's passive. Jones looks like he's just going to walk away from this as the rest of Beach King Gaming regroups. Manhaki actually getting caught out here. Flashes over the wall. Fail flash coming out, but it looks at it from Derpy Luna trying to catch up. And the slow from dissonance will keep Derpy Luna at her bay.
Yeah, so a lot of action in this game already. Even though the kill score isn't like crazy high, still a lot of action constantly going away. A lot of really good disengages and a lot of good escapes. While all that was going on, we have bot lane fighting here. Neona actually got a grab on Tristana, but she was forced to pop her cleanse there to get away.
Oh jeez, we actually missed that on the kill here in mid lane. Manhiki and Madham getting into a fight here. Nikki picking up the kill on Zach. Also have some aggression going down on bot lane. Lollicot's picking up the kill on Supplier. Camline has nowhere to go. Exhaust going down onto Lollicot's. Rocket jumping used to try and catch up. Cam just trying to escape through the rest of the jungle. Meanwhile in top lane, Diana picks up the kill onto Oriana. Cam still has nowhere to go. Gets knocked up by the tornado. Has nowhere to go. Merloni will pick up the last hit on that kill. We just have action going everywhere all over this map.
Yeah, very nice job there. Looks like they're going to try to pick up a dragon after that also, so definitely trying to get as much global gold as possible, picking up objectives.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't look like Beach King, or sorry, not Beach King, Rogue Bunnies has any position to fight this right now. They did just lose a couple of members. There is a free dragon going down for Beach King. The gold lead is now 21.2k to 18k for Beach King Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, see, let's look at the global gold here if we shall. We have Tristana already a 500 gold lead above Corki, so that's not significant, but I mean, that's at least a broadsword, at least in her favor. So if Tristana already has a gold lead over Corki, that just shows that just how behind they are, because Tristana, like, this is her weakest point, and she's already has a slight gold lead, so definitely in favor for at least the ADC wise.
Absolutely. We actually see Tristana has a BF sword and some Berserker beads coming out. She does have 1,600 in her pocket. Probably going to try and pick up that Infinity Edge as soon as he can. Pushing out this mid or bot lane tower now. You see some aggression going on to top though. Supplier getting dropped really low. Cam getting dropped down really low. Ultimate's being burned everywhere. Shockwave was used to clean up those kills and hold them in place. And that is another. That's the bot lane being dropped once again. Except this time in the top lane.
And it looks like they're going to back off here. Don't want to be putting too much pressure onto this bot lane now. Might actually elect to keep it up for a little bit, because it gives them more of a reign over this bottom half of the map here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just going to be trying to keep up the farm. I'm pretty sure Tristana is more than happy to have a little bit of a refarm lane. We do see a lot of pressure going down onto the top lane. Darkfire using Elastic Slingshot onto Kiwi Jones just to push him off the tower. Gonna keep this tower as alive as he can. Derpy Luna getting a little bit caught out in her own jungle here. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Meloni knocking her up. She's using the read to try and get away. Cataclysm used. Huge burst damage going on to Derpy Luna. She will die. Meloni getting dropped down very low. Supplier is here to try and clean up the kills. Maniki is also here. Kiwi Jones drops down to Supplier. Maniki has nowhere to run. Trying her best to use her escape. Command Protect used. Dissonance to try and slow. Darkfire will land a great knockup onto her, and that's another kill you got picked up, for the Rogue Bunnies.
Yeah, so great trade for them. It was a 1-4-2 and almost 3 actually. So really nice job them picking those up.
And this is definitely turning into a high action game. We see a little bit of risky invades going on, sometimes going in favor for the team, sometimes not so much. And it's definitely turning to a really exciting game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Beach Kings are ahead right now, but it's not a crazy amount, so it's still anybody's game so far.
Absolutely, it's always anybody's game. As a lot of solo queue players would say, the game's never over until the Nexus has been destroyed. So we'll see how this game plays out. Anything can happen. See some aggressive wards coming down from Beach King Gaming. Definitely want to get as much vision in the enemy jungle as they can. Gonna probably try to get as much buff control as they can in this game. Deny the enemy as much resources as they can as they begin to push out the lanes.
Yeah, but looking at the wards here, you can see that Rogue Bunnies have a lot of defensive wards. Oh, actually, some action going up top here.
Yeah, the Supplier actually getting dropped very low to Kiwi Jones. Kiwi Jones doing his best to catch up here. Supplier just trying his best to run with his life. 17-second cooldown on Valkyrie. Doesn't look like there's anywhere to go. Kiwi Jones actually uses his Q on a minion. Still diving in for the Supplier. Does not want to let him go. Barrier being dropped. Supplier doing his best to kite around the turret. The Q will pick up the kill. He's getting locked down on the tower by Cam. Kiwi Jones just going to walk away from this. Too tanky to even care about diving under the turret.
Yeah, very nice job there. Nice pickup. But going back to the wards here, look at how Rogue Bunnies here in the top jungle, they have a lot of wards here, a lot of defensive play. But meanwhile, we have Beach Kings on the bot side of Rogue Bunnies, bot sides. I can't even talk. On the bottom side of Rogue Bunnies jungle, they have a lot of forward wards there. So really trying to make some plays here when they come down here. Maybe try to defend this Nexus. I mean, this tower.
See a lot of aggression going down into the mid lane tower here. It doesn't look like Rogue Bunnies can respond to this just yet. That's going to be another tower going down for Beach Kings. That's 2 towers for them now. Derpy Luna getting a little bit stuck in the jungle. I think Kiwi Jones knows they're there. They're trying to cut her off. We'll be able to make it back to her tower. And Rogue Bunnies trying their best to get back to the lane. Darkfire going aggressive onto Merloni. Supplier staying in the back, doing as much damage as he can. Gatling gun coming out, doing a lot of burst damage, shredding down the armor. Supplier getting dropped down really low. Double knockup coming down. Triple knockup getting knocked down. Kiwi Jones pick up the kill on Supplier. The huge amount of CC is too much for Rogue Bunnies to handle. And that's a clean 3-for-0. Or 2-for-0, sorry.
Yeah, very nice job there by
3-for-0.
Yeah, but now Cho'Gath possibly getting caught out here.
Cho'Gath's actually trying to keep in there, has to flash away, getting a little bit caught out. Monsoon will keep him pushed away. Derpy Luna trying to pick up some kills. Command Protect will keep Jones alive though. You're gonna have to retreat back to the turret. There's too much CC coming out from the Beach Kings for the Rogue Bunnies to handle here.
Like I say, wow, that went all in their favor. That was a 4-for-0 exchange there, so very nice. Definitely gonna put a lead now, and look at the kill score. It's 16-5 with almost just over a 6K gold lead. So they actually put them way ahead now. So if Rogue Bunnies want to have a chance to win this, they really need to try to get a major objective now, or at least try to catch Beach King's opposition now.
Absolutely, this is a very scary position for Beach King to be in. They're now in a heavy defensive position against the Tristana. Definitely not something you want to have, because Tristana could just sit back and farm all she wants now. She does have her Infinity Edge and a Zeal, so definitely getting to a very scary part of the game. We do see Madsen getting a little bit caught out in the jungle. Gonna try and steal that red buff with a tornado. Not very successful though, but we do see the entire enemy team moving into his position to try and steal it. Darkfar will smite it away and manage to keep it for himself. But back to the Tristana, we do see now she does have all 5 points into her steroid. So that is a 90% attack speed boost, comboed with the 18% attack speed boost from a Zeal. She's going to be doing an absolutely incredible amount of damage. As she decides to go Phantom Dancer, there's huge amounts of attack speed and crit coming out from her. She's definitely gotten a little bit past that late game phase with already having an Infinity Edge in her pocket. Going to be a very scary threat to deal with.
Especially, what do you think this Zeal is going to turn into? Do you think it's going to turn into a Phantom Dancer, or do you feel it's going to turn into a Shiv?
I'm not sure. I believe we saw Lollicos go for a Phantom Dancer the last game, but Tristana's also a pretty good pusher, so the static Shiv is also pretty good for helping her push out lanes. Plus the magic damage is a little bit good because the enemy team is stacking quite a fair bit of armor, so it's a little bit of extra damage she can have under her belt. Not a huge amount, nothing too significant. Madman actually getting a little bit caught out here. Doesn't realize that Maniki's here. The ball will drop down though. Red buff ticking away on him. He has nowhere to run. He's getting constantly slowed by Lollicos red buff. Realizes he has nowhere to run. Tries to run onto Lollicos. Does the best damage he can. Doesn't even manage to get close enough to Lollicos to feast him, and that will be a dead giant Cho'Gath. And looks like Beach King Gaming going to be converting down onto Dragon.
Meanwhile, we got Malphite up here. Just dropping a word real quick, realizing probably how many members of the Rogue Bunnies are there, decides to back off. Meanwhile, by here by the Dragon Pit, looks like Beach King's picking up another objective here.
Zachman looking to just try and farm out that wave, has used his escape mechanism though. Slow goes down onto him, he's trying his best to run away. Merloni's chasing him while Maniki tries to chase down to support. Knocked off, just barely missing down onto Darkfire. Accidentally uses his E a little bit early, doesn't get anywhere with it. Kind of stuck there, teleport coming down. Unstoppable force used onto Darkfire. Uses Let's Bounce to try and get away. He's using his best to try to run, everybody's trying to catch up. Command Shockwave into Cataclysm! 3 people trapped inside, the player will run away though. Derpy Luna actually picking up a kill onto Matsing. Maniki has to flash away, but Malphite will pick up a kill on 2 people. Madman trying his best to run away, retreats to his turret. Lots of damage coming down to Manhiki, almost dropping to the Rupture, but he will manage to get away with his life. But meanwhile on the bot lane, Lollicos is more than happy to just take this free tower.
Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome coordination there. That Shockwave into the Cataclysm, make sure that our whole team got into that Cataclysm, and they had nowhere to run there. I mean, of course they had flash, they burned out there, but that was just awesome. Like, that was great, great coordination there by the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe Command Protect was used on the Jarvan, and then as he cast the Cataclysm, she casted Command Shockwave, comboing them in at the exact same time. So it was a huge amount of damage that came out there, with absolutely nowhere to run for Rogue Bunnies there. This is just a combo of CC that we can see, and Kiwi Jones actually using his teleport into the red bush to knock up the Zac and get that whole fight started. So we see a great amount of CC just coming out, able to lock down Rogue Bunnies for such a long period of time.
Okay, like, I don't know, what do you feel like Rogue Bunnies need to do now? I think I mean, obviously they're on the back foot here. Do you think there's something that maybe they're doing wrong, or do you feel that Beach Kings are just doing an awesome job so far?
It's definitely a good job coming out from Beach Kings, but there is always something a team could do. Rogue Bunnies definitely needs to be looking to just try and pick out people the best they can. They do have their team is so oriented really around picking off single targets, not so great around huge team fights. Diana really good at locking down a single target, picking them off and destroying their health bar as soon as we can. Corki does have a lot of that AoE damage, but really is more single target focused, especially with that Sheen. He does manage to spam that missile barrage, but really the Sheen procs are only going to go down on one target. A lot of aggression coming down onto Cam here. Looks like they're going to be trying to get pinched off by Malphite. Malphite using Unstoppable Force here, locking up Derpy and Cam. Cam taking huge damage. Command Shockwave will be used to clean him up. Derpy Luna flashing over the wall to save his life. Looks like the entire team is trying to push up this top lane. I think they might be trying to converge off the Baron for this now. Actually, we see a dive potentially coming out here. Merloni coming around the side. Command Protect views. Dissonance coming down with a big amount of damage. They're trying their best to just hug this tower, not wanting to give it up. Darkfire leaping over the wall, doing a huge amount of damage to Merloni. Command Protect will absorb a lot of that. Lockdown going on to Darkfire. and everybody's just kind of dancing around his turret, not wanting to give it up. Flash being used by Matsing to keep himself alive.
And now they're converging to this top turret here. I feel like they could probably force this Baron, but they haven't, essentially. I'm sure they're not too much worried about it. I mean, not too concerned.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be going for this Baron. I don't think they have... Oh no, they do have vision to clear it out. Matsing just kind of hanging out there. Purple team does know that they're converging over. They're kind of heading over to that area. Don't really think they want to check it out, but Beach King Gaming decided not to go for the Baron, just go back to farming and pushing out some lanes. But back to what we were saying, Rogue Bunnies definitely need... Oh, sorry, Lollicos actually picking up a kill near the top tower on Derpy Luna there. Definitely, probably not expecting that burst damage. We do see that explosive shot, Buster shot was being used actually to clean her up. Madman trying to get a little bit of aggressive onto Lollicos, misses Rupture, and Lollicos turns around to deal back a huge amount of burst damage. This is just the range that Tristana can get at late game, with the movement speed from Zeo, just able to kite around so efficiently.
Yeah, especially. And now she has that Phantom Dancer that you said she went for last game, so definitely preferring that build. But here comes Corky now, trying to put some aggression on Tristana, getting some Rocket Barrage and getting some good poke.
Yeah, doing his best to do some damage. Red Procs will go down. Actually, huge amount of damage coming on to Supplier. Doing his best to stay alive. Almost dies to the Tristana alone. But the combination of the three members of Rogue Bunnies will be able to keep them alive. Oriana on the bottom here, trying to do a little bit of burst damage. Merloni coming around the side. Gets a knock up. Tries to actually flash Travoy coming out from Madman. Doing their best to disengage this fight. They do not want to fight this. They know how stronger it is. Supplier is extremely low on health. They cannot fight this right now. Solar Flare being used to lock down the enemy team. They do not want to fight this. Beach King actually on the retreat now. Huge damage coming down from Derpy Luna. Merloni will turn around and pick up the kill onto Corky. The exhaust going down. Shockwave being used. Huge damage. Camping drop very low. Cataclysm doing double kill onto Merloni here. So now they're trying to disengage. Darkfire just missing up the knockup. And looks like, oh, actually they're going to be going back in. Madman recalling into back. Derpy Luna's too low. He's trying to pick up a kill. He will also be dropped. That's triple kill for Merloni. Turning around to Madman. Madman was trying to do a little bit of window shopping. Doing his best to get away now. Slow dropping down onto him. He is very tanky. I don't think they're going to be trying to dive. No, knockup going down underneath the turret. Madman doing his best to kite around the turret. Stay alive. Looks like they're just going to disengage. Try and proxy out this wave. That was a 3-for-0 pickup for Beach King. Or, yeah, 3-for-1 because Tristana fell there. Yeah. But on the bottom lane, we actually see Kiwi Jones just freely pushing. Got an inhibitor turret.
Yeah, and now he's pushing on the inhibitor now, but gonna be forced to recall out. There's too many members of Rogue Bunnies here to deal with, so gonna back up out of there. Meanwhile, we have Tristana middle now, pushing heavily on this inner turret now. Gonna be able to get that no issues at all.
This is not a good position for Beach King to be in. They're getting split pushed quite a fair bit though. We have people in all lanes just pushing things out, and Rogue Bunnies isn't quite able to respond in time to react to these pushes. They're not aware of where the enemy team is going. They're not sure where to go, where to stop them. They're not even sure what to go for next. They're just sitting in their base, hoping to try and find somebody to pick them off. And even though almost every single member of Beach King is so strong that they're almost not afraid to just straight up fight a 4v5 until their team shows up, or a 1v5 even.
Now they're gonna get this dragon out. I have a feeling they. Ooh. Okay, I thought that Oriana was gonna cut out there. But now they might try to get this Baron, because obviously they got one objective. Might try to get another one here, and then shop. Oh, actually they're gonna recall, maybe. I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Looks like they're gonna go back. There are some pings going down on Baron from the purple team. They aren't quite sure what's going on there. They think they might be trying to go for it. Maybe just a little bit worried that Beach King are gonna try to go for. Sorry, my client just got messed up.
Oh, it's no worries. Well, it looks like Mersing here is trying to clear out some wards by Baron. I'm going to check Baron pick, find out where. So now that's going to prevent Rogue Bunnies from having any vision on the map. I mean, at least by this Baron, especially. So, big fight from down here. Ooh, actually, Unstoppable Force comes out from Kanye, going heavily onto Corky here.
That's bounce being used actually here. Lollicos jumping over the wall. Darkfire trying his best to get away. Randoming's being dropped. He's being slowed. Boy, it's a fast away. The command attack being used to try and catch him off, but doesn't quite get it. Lots of ultimates being burned there, but everybody will walk away clean.
Yeah, very nice job there. Just showing that the pressure is constantly being in this way. I mean, they had that vision there, so we're able to at least just scare them off. So they're at this point they're scared to go into their own jungle, which is not a position you want to be in.
Sorry about that, I had to alt tab real quick there. So we do see Beach King Gaming trying to put a little bit of pressure down onto this inhibitor turret. Are just going to back away from it. Jones is not with them. He does have teleport up actually, so if he needs to, he can teleport in. Jarvan can always drop the flag, use that to teleport in, catch Rogue Bunnies off guard. Looks like they are hanging around his bottom inhibitor, wanting minions around to try and keep things a little bit busy for them. There's a lot of wave clear that can come out from Rogue Bunnies though. Trying to get a little bit of damage onto this tower. Lollicost's able to hang quite a fair bit back and do some damage. Doesn't want to do anything too risky though. Jones just kind of coming around the side, pushing out this mid lane. Rogue Bunnies are going to have to react now if they want to do something.
Yeah, this would be the opportunity to get into, because at least the travel time from Ultimate coming in. But here comes Malphite. Coming with this on top.
What about everybody getting caught out everywhere? Cam getting caught out in the middle of that, using Solar Flare to try and keep himself alive. Holocaust taking down huge damage, using Rocket Jump to get away. Cell Division being dropped. Turpy Luna being dropped almost immediately by the ultimate coming out from the Holocaust. Huge amounts of damage. Doesn't look like they can do anything to stop this push. This could just be a push for game. Huge death numbers coming out, at least over 30 seconds.
Yeah, 5 members of Beach Kings up, and with their 14k gold lead now, they're just so far in the lead. I don't think there's anything.
Some before sees on the supplier near the back here. Huge burst damage. Doesn't even have a chance to Valkyrie or run away back to his fountain. Dies right at the steps to his own base.
Might be feeling like on Malphite flashes away.
Yeah, Command Protect will actually save a lot of that burst damage, probably keeping him alive there. Huge damage going on to this Nexus Tower. Doing their best to focus it down. Staying in the back. Rogue Bunnies doesn't have much they can do. Diana is coming up. Huge burst damage coming on to Jones here. Darkfire looking to try and stop them best he can. Everybody's focusing the Nexus. Drop it down really low. 25% health. Madman trying to cut it around. Shockwave used to keep the enemy team locked up. Holocaust will get the final hit. That is the Nexus for Beach King Gaming, and they will take away the first game of the day.
A very nice job by Beach Kings there. Played that almost flawlessly. Those Orianna and Jarvan ults, I feel like, were really the game changers there in that game. How do you feel? What do you think?